Minister, I again want to raise on the floor of the House here a school issue in South Kildare that's hugely important. St Paul's Secondary School in Monasterevin is a major building school project that you'll be aware of, that I've raised with you since you came into office. And it is a school project in County Corla, as you will be well aware. The latest delay in November, it's a project that's been beset by a number of delays, not all of the departments making down through the years, but the latest one in November involved a legal challenge to the pre-qualification process. And teachers, parents and pupils of Monasterevin are desperate for assurances that the project will proceed as soon as possible, and I'd appreciate any updates you can provide the House on this very important matter.
Thank you, Deputy Minister. Supplementary.
Yeah, you answer first and then.
Okay. Appreciate the frustration, Deputy, on this issue, and I'll expand on that maybe on my supplementary to try to give assurances to the parents and to their community. The major building project for the school is at an advanced stage of architectural planning, stage 2B. Detailed design, which includes the applications for planning permission, fire cert and disability access cert, and the preparation of tender documents. All statutory approvals have been obtained. The outcome of the pre-qualification process for the main contract has been notified to contractors who expressed interest in tendering for this project. Feedback and issues arising from this has resulted in a legal challenge to the pre-qualification process for the main contract from one unsuccessful contractor. This matter has been handled on my department's behalf by the Chief State Solicitor's Office. The Deputy will appreciate that as there is an ongoing legal challenge in relation to the project, it is not possible for my department to comment further at present. When the pre-qualification process for the main contract and reserve specialist contracts can be successfully concluded, the project will then be progressed to tender stage. Regarding the site, legal representatives for both parties are working together with a view to concluding the conveyancing. There has been significant progress recently and fruit of close and intense engagement from all parties. All parties continue their work to ensure that acquisition completes at the earliest possible date, and at this point it is still not anticipated that the completion of conveyancing will impact on the timelines for delivery of the building project. The department met with the school last month to update the school on the ongoing legal challenge and the status of progress on the project, and will continue to engage with the school. And just to reiterate and re-emphasise, Deputy, my department is fully committed to getting the project delivered as quickly as possible.
Commitment from the Minister that this is a top priority, and I think ultimately that's what we need to hear. The parents, the pupils and the staff in St Paul's really want to hear. I know the Principal and the Chair of the Board of Management were reassured from your meeting with your officials last month, but notwithstanding that, this is an exceptional set of circumstances. This school project is one I don't think I've ever come across one to be hit by so many different delays for a variety of different reasons down through the years. And just when we thought we could see the light at the end of the tunnel of construction commencing in the third quarter of 2019, which was the hope, this latest legal challenge, which I know is outside of your control, has just delayed us. We have a situation where more prefabs need to go in next September, and we don't have space for them on the grounds. You know, what was once a hallway is now a classroom. There's an excellent staff and a great spirit among these school pupils, and these pupils, many of whom entered into first year thinking they would see a new school by the end of that 6 years, are starting to wonder now. So just again a reassurance that this is a top priority for the department, and that every stone, no stone will remain unturned to try and get this progressed through as soon as possible.
Just to add my voice to this, and I had a meeting with yourself and with the Forward Planning Unit in Tullamore in relation to St Paul's and Monasterevin, and the present situation that the students and the teachers find themselves in are absolutely deplorable. If this was a private organisation or a private company, a private business, health and safety, I have no doubt, would actually close it down in relation to a number of different features. The fact that you have 160 boys basically using 2 toilets, that's all that they have the whole day. The fact that there's no facilities for PE, there's no proper facilities for lunch, that the small hall that they have is really in a very bad situation. This has been going on for 10 years, and while there have been issues that Kildare County Council had to deal with and the department had to deal with. In relation to what has happened now, with the court case that is happening. The court date has been put back 3 different times, and the next court date is due on the 28th. I know there's nothing that you can do, Minister, in relation to that, but I think that this is really a crisis situation for St Paul's. They absolutely need to have the school, the sod basically, turned so that we know the school is going to happen. But just one question that I want to put to you, and that's in relation to the signing of the land over to the department, to St Paul's, because in my understanding that has not happened yet either. I know I've received reassurances, as the other deputies have, that this is not going to stand in the way of the school progressing, but I do think we need assurance in relation to that aspect. Thank you.
To thank both deputies for their interventions on this matter. Look, conveyancing is ongoing, but just maybe to give a wee chronology of time frame, which is obviously contributing to the frustration in relation to this matter. It has been handled on behalf of the department by the Chief State Solicitor's Office. The first listing of the motion for return before the High Court was on Monday, the 5th of November 2018. The matter was adjourned on that date at the request of Council for the Department in order to allow sufficient time to assess all options to the 26th of November by consent with the Registrar. On that date, the matter was adjourned for a further 2 weeks until December the 10th, which you will be aware of. On the 10th of December, the matter was adjourned until Monday, the 14th of January of this year. On that date, the matter was adjourned for a further 2 weeks until the 28th of January 2019. It is anticipated, and I am emphasising anticipated, Camp Corley, that further adjournments will not be required. So hopefully that will be realised. And the Department continues to liaise with the Chief State Solicitor's Office with all options, and more important and fundamental, my officials will stay in touch with the school as well. And I'd just like to thank both deputies for raising this issue here today, and no doubt, Camp Corley, and something of interest to your good self as well.
Deputy Heydon.
And thanks, Minister, for that response again. Look, finally, it would be a real hope that we wouldn't have any more further adjournments. I know it's probably needed to happen. There's a legal requirement for that to happen, and we do need to make sure that the next move the department make is the right one, because there can't be any further delays on this. And I know when you're in the sphere of courts and everything, people get very nervous because the concern is there that we lose all control of this. But if we could get to the 28th of January and there not be a further adjournment, if we could get clarity as to the next step in that phase, and I think it's really important the Chief State Solicitor's Office and your department stay really closely together. And similarly, I acknowledge the point you make that there has been progress made, significant progress made recently on conveyancing, but I think everybody will be a lot more relaxed and at ease when that's over the line with the site as well. So I would hope maybe the next time you're up on ministerial questions here and I'm asking you about it, we might have made significant progress in that regard. But the final point I would just make is this needs to remain an absolute top priority, because the people of Monasterevin, the staff, the pupils, they don't deserve what's happened to them in the past, and we need to work doubly hard now to make sure that this is resolved as quickly as possible.
Minister.
Yeah, hoping we get things over the line and moving on. We'll be looking then at the completion of the pre-qualification stage, and then we'll move into tender stage. Tender stage takes up 7 to 8 months, but I'll ensure, and my department officials ensure, that that's remained as a top priority.
Thank you, Minister.